Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to another edition of the Now Morning Show here on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online. This morning, welcoming back Mr. Carrie Roberts, who was a little bit under the weather yesterday. Good morning, Carrie.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
How are you feeling this morning, my friend?
I'm feeling okay this morning. I do have some instructions that I have to follow, and I'll keep track of certain things, but I believe I'll be good.
Do you mind sharing these instructions so I'll make sure to keep you in check?
Well, I have to keep a pain journal because I've been getting headaches for the past 2 weeks.
Oh.
So I need to keep a pain journal, basically describing what pain I feel and where, and then I'll go back to my doctor and find out, what are the next steps. So
I was too harsh or mean yesterday to you. As your mom, Carrie's mom, by the way, told him that I was saying bad things about him. I didn't say anything bad about Carrie. Carrie, you know me to say anything bad about you.
No, you always say the best things all the time, Rishi, Yes, never.
It's too early in the morning for sarcasm, okay? It's too early in the morning for sarcasm. But a lot happening. I know this morning you were giving me some exciting news for Trinidad and Tobago writer.
Yes, there's a writer, Carolyn McKenzie, who's in talks with Netflix right now. Now, she has not yet published her novel, but the novel is based on a Venezuelan family living in Trinidad and Tobago illegally, and she's in talks with Netflix about they're actually buying the television rights for that because they want to turn that novel into a TV series. So it's very exciting news for our own author, Carolyn McKenzie. We'll keep you updated with more information on that. Really exciting, and there are actually 2 publishing houses, one in the UK and another, I believe, in the US, that want to publish her novel as well. So that's exciting news for one of our own there.
Yeah. We're making waves everywhere, you know.
Everywhere. As they say, Trinidadians and Tobagonians are in everything. We're like salt.
Exactly. All right. So, Carrie, there is an interesting article that I was reading this morning in one of the daily newspapers. A man who destroyed his wife's cellular phone has been ordered to compensate her for the device.
Right.
Now, apparently the woman, I'm not going to call names, so she was standing outside the house on the road, and police stopped and asked if she was all right, and she said that her husband mashed up her phone. So apparently they went to court yesterday, and the magistrate ordered the husband to pay the woman for the phone, $1,500.
$1,500 for the phone?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that?
My question is, it doesn't make it right, using force, it doesn't make it right. But my question is, what occurred for that exchange to happen, that, he found it necessary to break the phone? Because it's her personal property, and he took her property and he destroyed it. Yeah,
but so, he said that he paid for the phone.
So, well, although he paid for it, he paid for it and he gave it to her, so it then became her property. So there's a lot to be
But it's husband and wife, though.
True, it is husband and wife, but it's a violent exchange between 2 adults, and there was the destruction of property.
Yeah, interesting story. And no, that is actually a real story.
And where were they from again?
I'm not going to say. Yours truly is from that area, just leaving that right there.
Okay.
So he was ordered to pay $1,500 compensation to his wife by March 30th, or face 6 weeks simple imprisonment. He was also fined $500 for resisting arrest.
What is simple imprisonment? No, honestly, I know.
That's a good question.
It's an honest question. I don't understand what simple imprisonment is.
Okay, so
we
got some work to do, right?
Right, yeah. I think we should do some research and find out what that is.
Yeah, so interesting story coming out there yesterday. Now, Caribbean Airlines has sent out a statement as it relates to the Ethiopian flight ET302, which crashed, and about 137 passengers on board, 157 passengers on board, they died. So Lisa and I, we were chatting about that yesterday. Well, Caribbean Airlines is saying that it will incorporate the procedural and training elements necessary to comply with all regulations and instructions before any new aircraft is introduced to its fleet, because apparently there was some concern. People were talking about, do we have any planes like that in Trinidad and Tobago? Caribbean Airlines is saying no. And it is something that we'll continue to monitor to see what happens, because Caribbean Airlines said it will not be purchasing any of those aircrafts, at least not right now as well.
Yeah, considering the issue that happened there, it's a really tragic story. We, of course, would not want that to be repeated in this country or anywhere else for that matter. So definitely we're going to keep updated on that and ensure that we keep you updated as well as pertains to that topic and the type of planes and all that Caribbean Airlines was speaking about.
And that was the Boeing MAX 8 aircraft which crashed. All right. Carrie, I think it's time for us to check out the traffic situation.
All right, let's take a look at the traffic update brought to you by TrafficTT.com, sponsor of Ultimate Solutions.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
And we are looking at the Monroe Road area here on the Rev Butler Highway. And as we can see on the northbound side, it seems to be a little bit sticky at this point in time. Number of vehicles heading up there very slowly but surely toward the northern regions coming from south and central Trinidad. Looking over in the southbound side, we can see that there's a free flow. There's nothing much to talk about there. So for those of you heading against the traffic, that's good news for you. But for those of you in the traffic right now, that might be a little bit rough. But remember, for those of you who are leaving home right now and going to go into that traffic, we could keep you company and we could add a little spark to your day, add a little brightness to your day while you endure your way through that traffic on your way to work, to school, or to wherever else you're heading this morning. And you can take us with you on Talk City 91.1 FM. As we see right here, right now, as we're about to wrap this up, we can see that they're moving a little bit quicker right now. So maybe there was some sort of obstacle that was taken out of the way. But we'll just call this a wrap for this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
A lot in store for you this morning. The National Catholic Men's Ministry, Matthew Hall, Peter Timothy here with us this morning. We also have Dawn Richards. We're going to talk about customer service professionalism, an important topic, and Carrie will be leading that conversation this morning. Also, it is Tuesday, so it means we have Unique Not Different with Shamla Maraj, so that and much more. Carrie, exciting stuff.
Definitely exciting stuff, but we take the short break and we come right back.
TTT News, delivering more news at more times to more people. TTT News, reporting on the people, events, and issues that affect your life. TTT News, online and fully interactive. TTT News, connect.
Frontline on Talk City 91.1 FM, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to noon with me, Ria Roop Chansing, an informative and educational show that discusses a variety of topics, from social issues to the law, from education to religion, culture, health, beauty, and your well-being. And you also have a chance to voice your opinion in Frontline's open forum. Frontline, 8 a.m. to noon every Monday to Friday with me, Ria Roop Chansing, on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Reach further when you advertise with TTT. Suite 100, Next 99.1, and at Talk City 91.1 FM. Whether it's television, radio, or social media, our stations belong to the only broadcast network with 100% coverage across Trinidad and Tobago. That's a fact. From Port of Spain to Point Fortin, Crown Point to Charlottesville, every household in TNT can easily access our signal. TTT remains the only broadcaster with live capability from multiple locations in the country, making us the most dependable source of information for events of national importance. Find us on any smart device at TTT Live Online. Are you ready to reach further with your advertising? Contact our sales team now. Call us at 622-4141 at extensions 2601 to 2607 or email us at sales@ttt.co.tt.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Now Morning Show. We are live on TTT Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online. It's time for Unique, Not Different with Shamla Murad. Shamla, good morning.
Hi,
how are you?
Good morning, Rishi. I'm good, thanks.
What do you have for us today?
Yes, well, as you can see, I don't have a person with a disability because today I want to delve into something very important and very pertinent to the disabled community. And before I introduce my guest, I have given a clip. I want to know if it can be shown right now. So, okay, so maybe it can be shown after, but this is Roxy and this is Laura Eskai. Roxy has a brother who has a disability. His name is Isaiah Eskai. Isaiah has severe disability. And, okay, so this is the clip.
Would you like to have more? Here you go. Good job, dude. Come on, drink it. Don't drop it. Hey! Good job! Hey! Good job, son. Wow. Bye.
Right. So that was Isaiah Eskai, and Laura is an activist and the founder of Cause and Effect. And the purpose of Cause and Effect is to highlight and push for persons with disability. So later on, in case their parents are not there, or eventually their parents won't be there, they would have a stable upbringing. Yeah, and with that, I want to say good morning. How are you? Okay. Your brother, when you go out and people stare, what do you think when you see people staring at your brother? You want me to ask it again? No. You want to answer? No, Laura. When you guys go out, and I'm sure people stare at Isaiah.
Oh, yeah.
What is the reaction of? He also has a bigger sister.
Yeah, he has a younger sister, who's older than Roxy, and she's 9.
Right.
They're both very protective of him,
right.
And so sometimes, for instance, if we're driving and somebody's staring too much, they have both in the past asked, but why are they staring at him? He's just like the rest of us. So why is everyone looking at him like he's so strange? Yeah. Because it's a very typical experience for them. But for somebody who's not experiencing it, of course, and living with a person with a disability, it's always like a whole new world and something so different, But they're very protective of him.
And that is to show you the pertinency of having persons with disability out in public.
Oh, yeah.
So just how they find it's normal, the public could find it's normal, so they could stop stare. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's say now, presently, something were to happen to you or Francis, or you have to just go away. What would happen to Isaiah?
Well, I have this thing I like to say. I like to say that if I'm leaving, I'm taking him with me. And it may sound funny to some, and to some they might think that's kind of creepy. Right. But it is a little bit scary. It's scary and it's not scary. I'll tell you why it's not scary. It's not scary because for the last 5 years, what we've been working toward is getting sustainable assisted living communities going. Right. We've been invited to be a part of a project. I can't say what that project is right now because it's still unfolding. But we have been invited to be a part of a project that deals with sustainable living. Cause and Effect on its own is currently working on setting up a sustainable for-profit business that will create employment opportunities for persons with disabilities. And so we see that model as something that is extremely necessary, not just for the NGO of itself to continue its work, which is awareness and education, as you're aware, but to help, as I said, create employment opportunities, create an ecosystem of support for persons with disabilities who are more independent and are able to work and create support, and in turn, create support systems in the long term for children like Isaiah who need to live in a community. Yeah. If I were to die, or if Frances was to die,
right?
Not a word she likes. Sorry.
Yes.
To create an entire ecosystem of support for children like Isaiah, so that, you know, if we were to die, we would die knowing that he'll be taken care of, he'll be treated with dignity and respect, and he will be loved. Yeah. You know, so be a community, which is different than saying place a child in an institution. It's a completely different
because
thing.
I remember it's only people feel that you have a preconceived notion that because I have a disability, I tend to be aware of everything that's going on in the disabled community, which I'm not.
Yeah.
And in reality, I try to live just like anyone else.
Exactly.
You know, be incorporated just like anyone else.
Exactly.
One day, it's only 2010, I found out the severity in which a disability could be.
Yeah.
And I was totally in shock. And later on, I asked this question. I said to this person, okay, he has a young man, he has a severe disability. His mother died. His father takes fully care of him. He cannot verbally talk, but he's aware. Never gone to school, but he knows things. And I asked their friend, I said, what if his father died? His response was, let's hope he dies first, because he would suffer. And that struck me, because I educated myself, and I am still fearful of my future. So you can imagine persons who has a severe disability, you know. And that being said, what would you like to see from the community and society that will enhance or further, you know, catapult the development within the disabled community?
What we've been working toward actively is highlighting the issues that persons with disabilities and their families face in order to bring about awareness and education, because there's a lot of misinformation, misconceptions about persons with disabilities and what that means. And it's a broad topic, it's a deep topic. And so what we would like to see, basically, I would say in essence, is a society where there's integration on a meaningful level. It's not just surface level. This is not about charity. It's not about feeling sorry for anybody. It's about recognizing that Shamla is a human being. My son Isaiah is a human being. They have different needs that need to be met. And we as a society have to work together to meet those needs of those people, of persons with disabilities.
Right. I have one more question and one question for Roxy.
Sure.
My last question, you know, I saw a video with Isaiah using the washroom.
Right.
And I saw it. I didn't comment. I just liked it. And you were so overwhelmed with joy. And I understood that because the first time I was able to transfer onto the next step for myself, I know the overjoyed I feel.
That's some victory.
And you know, so do you think that each person, no matter the severity, can, you know, progress and develop in terms of?
Yes, we have to presume competence. You and I spoke about that extensively. We have to presume competence. We cannot assume that because a doctor says, well, your child is severely disabled and they'll never do this or they'll never do that. No. Our job as parents and as peers or cousins, family, whoever we are, is to meet that person where they are at and give them every opportunity to excel on their own time, on their own speed. You know, stop trying to turn persons with disabilities into who we are. Allow them to be who they need to be. Slow down, accept who they are, allow them to excel.
Right. And Roxy, what would you like, you know, let's say the cameraman, if he were to come up and ask you, what's wrong with your brother? What would be your response? Or if I ask you, what's wrong with Isaiah? How would you respond? She's shy. How do you think she would respond?
She's tired. She got up at 4 a.m. Not a morning person. She would say, wrong, what's wrong? Right. You know, there's nothing wrong. She'd say he's a boy with special needs. That's what she would say. He's a boy with special needs, but they don't see him as somebody with whom something is wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think we have to change. We have to shift our language too.
Yeah. And I think that answer, meaning what's wrong, is, you know, a very powerful answer. I think our time is up for today. Yes, it is. But guys, I want to thank you for tuning in for this very educational segment of Unique Not Different. Until next week, be good, do good. Bye, guys.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Shamla, Miraj, Laura, for coming on this morning, and Roxanne as well. You're a bit shy, isn't she?
Yeah, very.
Absolutely fantastic. But it's now time for news now on TTT. Alright, locusts have destroyed hundreds of crops and plants at Mendes Trace in Pinal. Residents in the area said they started seeing insects on their crops 4 days ago, but it increased within hours. One resident said it was the second infestation for the last 2 years. The resident said the area was sprayed by some employees of the Ministry of Agriculture on Monday. However, the locusts are still flying around. The ministry said arrangements will be made to visit the area and see what is happening. Well, Weston Rollins, or Krokro, is back on the job with a stern warning after being suspended. He resumed his duties with CPEP as a regional coordinator for the San Fernando City Corporation 2.14. He was suspended after a video was posted online with him using abusive language to a member of the public while driving a company vehicle. Alright, the Water and Sewage Authority says customers in parts of northeast Trinidad served by the North Oropouche Water Treatment Plant will see an interruption in their pipe-borne water supply on today between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. This has become necessary in order for TNTEC to carry out planned maintenance work in the area that would affect electricity supply to the plant. Alright, that was news now on TTT. A lot in the program still to come. Customer service professionalism. A very interesting conversation we're going to have. That and much more after the break. Stay.
Environmental Management Authority is rolling out Phase 2 of the iCare project, a recycling initiative sponsored by the Green Fund. Bags of assorted beverage containers are collected every day and averted from polluting our environment. These recyclables are processed at pilot collection depots, operated by Strategic Partner Swim Call. Over the next 2 years, additional iCare bins will be placed in public spaces and schools nationwide. Adopt the habit of recycling and caring for the environment today. Visit our Facebook page iCare TT to locate your nearest recycling bin and learn more about this Vision 2030 initiative.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who really cares?
Who cares? I care, because I know that cancer is the leading cause of death worldwide. Over 7.6 million people die each year, and in 20 years that number is set to triple. You can do something about that. Get screened for early detection. It's a key to survival. I care because cancer doesn't.
Any person who knowingly sells or allows another person to sell intoxicating liquor to a child under the age of 18 years, whether for the child's own use or not, commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction for a first offense to a fine of $7,500. In this festive season, remember that the Liquor Licenses Act Chapter 8410 states that the sale of intoxicating liquor to individuals under the age of 18 years is prohibited. It's our collective responsibility to safeguard the nation's youth, that they are not exposed to triggers that may lead to negative outcomes. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Welcome back, everybody. You are watching the Now Morning Show here on TTT, also on Talk City 91.1 FM, TTT Live online on Facebook, and of course on the World Wide Web at ttt.live. And with me this morning is Dawn Richards, and we're going to speak about something that I'm really excited to talk about, because it's something I've been thinking about like for a long time, and that is customer service in Trinidad and Tobago.
And you're not alone.
Yeah.
Not alone.
So, some years ago, I lived and worked and studied in Canada. I came back to Trinidad. So that was one experience. And I came back to Trinidad some years after that. And, you know, I was unused to bad customer service. You know, so I was at a particular establishment on the first week back. And, you know, just the response from the service professional, I would call them professional still.
Yes, of course.
Right, you know, it was in stark contrast to what I had become accustomed to in Canada, for instance, you know, and, you know, over the time, I had to kind of get myself used to, you know, which shouldn't be, like, getting used to bad service.
Yes.
You know, so, we are talking today about customer service professionalism, and you are representing the Customer Service Experience Professionals Group of Trinidad and Tobago, or for short,
CUSP.
CUSP TT.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me about CUSP TT. How did you decide to form it?
We are now about to launch CUSP TT.
Okay.
It's happening on Friday morning at a breakfast seminar. And the motivation behind it was simply because we think that it's time for people to stop complaining about poor service in the country.
Right.
We do so much as a country. We are leading in business within the Caribbean. I think we are regarded as one of the foremost societies within the CARICOM region, and we're lagging in service. So we have the sun, we have the sand, we have the sea. It's now time to add the service
other S,
to it.
which is the service, right?
So I am the CEO of a company called DRA Consulting. We are service transformation consultants. So we work with organizations to help them elevate their customer experience product and their customer experience brand. So creating CUSP, we are pioneering CUSP. So that was a natural fit with what we do as an organization. Right. And the response to this has been overwhelming. We had... Of course, it would definitely be. We started doing it back to front. Typically, you launch and then you look for the members. Right. We've had a couple of events prior to this. We had a business breakfast and a briefing session in December where we invited a number of customer experience practitioners in the country to come together, and we sort of pitched the idea to them, and they were very excited.
Right.
And we had another business mixer after that. So now the formal launch is here, and our Minister of Trade and Industry has consented to deliver the feature address, and we are hoping that our mayor will be also present, bringing greetings. And the intention really is to have a community of like-minded professionals who will come together to elevate the customer experience brand in Trinidad and Tobago, so that we can change the landscape of service. We want to bring smiling back to the counter. We want to make it fashionable again.
Yes.
We want to make sure that people who are paying their money at an establishment get the value that they expect. We want to make sure that employees at organizations are eager to serve. We want to make sure that
we will touch back on that in a little bit, but continue.
Yeah. And getting to that point is going to take a while, but there is a model that generally we use at DRA Consulting, and the intention is that CUSP will be pioneering this new wave of service improvement across the country.
So, just to track back a little bit, and you said to get employees eager to serve.
Yes.
Now I'm very interested to know how you're going to do that, because especially in, let's say, smaller establishments, the service professionals is generally a minimum wage job. You know, a lot of people do it for the dollar at the end of the day, and they don't have the passion behind it. How are you going to go about, you know, even in those types of establishments, having individuals eager to serve, as you say? Yeah.
You'd be surprised that it's not only at those establishments that some people are not eager to serve.
Well, I
it's right across the board. It doesn't matter what your pay grade is at times. One of the first things we have to look at is frontline etiquette. Just basically saying good morning, thank you for shopping at this establishment, or thank you for patronizing. And part of that requires an HR kind of solution.
Right.
Because the nature of the relationship on the inside affects the nature of the relationship that is delivered to the to which the customer is exposed.
Right.
So we work very closely, and we will be working very closely with managers and supervisors to help them to be nice to the people to whom to people who report to them.
Yeah, because I studied quality customer care some years ago when I studied my culinary program.
Right.
And we were told that the customers and your co-workers are your first customers, your first line, and you should be in service to them as well.
Absolutely. And the quality of the service on the inside of the organization is going to bleed into and it's going to define the quality of the service to the external customer.
Right.
So the intention is that we work with managers and supervisors to help them to understand that they need to serve their direct reports. They need to be nice to people. They need to come in on a morning and say good morning. They need to create a climate that makes people feel motivated on a morning to want to come to work. And when on the inside, the quality of the internal customer service is high, then it means that it makes it easier for people to want to pass that on to the external customer.
So what you're saying is that a culture of customer service must start from the inside.
Has to happen on the inside.
All right, so before we close off, just tell me, so the event is on Friday. Where is it going to be?
It's going to be at the Hilton.
And how do you get access to that event?
Well, you can call us at 622-6762. It's being pioneered by DRA Consulting. Or you can drop us an email at info@draconsultingtt.com.
Oh, well, that sounds excellent.
Yes.
Dawn, we definitely have to continue this chat another time.
Certainly.
Definitely something I am excited about because just from personal experience, and I'm sure, I'm certainly not the only one, so definitely a great initiative, and I can only see it flourishing and doing very, very well.
We're hoping to make a big impact.
Definitely needed here in Trinidad and Tobago because, again, you said we have the sun, we have the sea, we have the sand, we need that other X, we need that service.
Absolutely.
All right, so have a great...
Thank
you so much, Dawn.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. And I go across to Rishi now because I know you are waiting patiently, but again, good service is a good thing.
Exactly. Customer service in Trinidad and Tobago, we complain about it all the time, so it's good to see an organization coming on where we can look to address that. Alright, so it is now time for us to move on. We're going to talk a little bit about the Down Syndrome Family Network and what they're doing, because on March 21st, we commemorate World Down Syndrome Day. I have with me Natalie Mohammed, who is a Director Volunteer Coordinator at the Down Syndrome Family Network. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, the Down Syndrome Family Network, what is happening with that organization?
All right, now we have a lot of events because, as you know, World Down Syndrome Day is on the 21st of March. And to kick off that, we have our first event, which is called Lots of Socks campaign. So it's where everybody comes together. They wear socks. They wear brightly colored socks, funky socks, mismatched, three pairs. And you wear this. The reason behind it is to create awareness about persons with Down syndrome. Although they may look different, they are alike like us. It's the same concept with the socks. You wear black socks, white socks. It serves the same purpose.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, what is the significance of having, for people wearing different colored socks?
Yeah, it's to just create that talk. If you see somebody wearing a funky socks, like, why are you wearing this? And that now it starts the conversation, and I am trying to create awareness about persons with Down syndrome and their abilities and what they are capable of in society.
This initiative with the socks is something that we have had in Trinidad and Tobago before.
We've been celebrating this for the past couple of years.
And the response has been pretty okay.
It has taken off fantastically. They are doing it right now in schools. And we try to get the schools now to partake in it. If the students want to wear the socks, they have to know the reason behind it. They just can't wear it because it's a day of wearing funky socks. They have to do a write-up. They have to do some project-based thing that they would know now the reason behind why they are wearing the socks.
So the Ministry of Education was approached with this, or?
A lot of schools, we've written to schools. We've gotten permission. Schools they have contacted us.
So it's going to be somewhat of an education drive with young people.
It is. It's
okay. And this is something that you're going to start for the first time?
No.
So you've done it before?
We've done it before.
What has been the response like?
It has been fantastic. Some of the schools, they've used it for fundraisers where they ask the students, you pay like a little $5 towards donation and to wear the socks. And then they contribute that now towards DSFN and our works.
Do you have numbers as it relates to people in Trinidad and Tobago who may have Down syndrome? Or?
Statistically, we don't have numbers for Trinidad and Tobago. We are trying to work on it, but it is a lot of work because we have to get in contact with the hospitals because the private and public health care.
Yeah, it's a difficult system sometimes.
It is.
So Down Syndrome Family Network would be hosting the annual World Down Syndrome Day Conference. When is that taking place?
Yes, this year will be our 8th year in hosting this conference. It's United Nations World Down Syndrome Day. It's a recognition. So unfortunately, we are not having it on the day of World Down Syndrome Day, but we have the Locks of Socks campaign. Our conference will be held on the 22nd of March at the Hyatt Regency in Trinidad and the 25th of March in Mandalay the Grand in Tobago.
Okay, and for people to get more information as it relates to this, and is it something that you have to pre-register for, buy tickets or something?
It is a paid event. It's a conference. It's $300. You could, persons who are interested, they could visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, also our website, and they will get further information.
What is the website?
The website is dsfamilynetwork@org.com.
Right.
Yeah.
So people can go on there to get more information as it relates to that. Now, the keynote speaker will be Emmanuel Bishop.
It is. He's well known. He has spoken in 3 continents. He's a musician. He's very athletic. He has medals in golf, swimming. He's fantastic.
So that is something for people to
and
look
he's going to
forward
add our country to his list of countries visited. Yeah.
What was the turnout like for the past 7 years?
It has been great. It has been fantastic. We usually try to get a lot of persons who are involved, not just persons who are teachers or social workers, but we want parents to come because the information that we are giving out is for professionals, parents, teachers, social workers, everybody to come and get this information so that they could help.
But then what? So they get the information and then what?
Then what? Then we help them get the information, and now with this information, they could in turn help the individuals with Down syndrome survive in society and be included in all activities.
All right, well, I want to wish you all the best with this event that is coming up on March 22nd at Hyatt Regency and then on March 25th at the Magdalena Grand Beach Resort in Tobago. The Down Syndrome Family Network would be hosting the annual World Down Syndrome Day Conference. Remember, you can check out the Down Syndrome Family Network's website for more information on that. Natalie Mohammed, thank you very much for coming on and sharing this very important information with us. We take a break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Reach further when you advertise with TTT. Sweet 100, Next 99.1, and at Talk City 91.1 FM. Whether it's television, radio, or social media, our stations belong to the only broadcast network with 100% coverage across Trinidad and Tobago. That's a fact. From Port of Spain to Point Fortin, Crown Point to Charlottesville, every household in TNT can easily access our signal. TTT remains the only broadcaster with live capability from multiple locations in the country, making us the most dependable source of information for events of national importance. Find us on any smart device at TTT Live Online. Are you ready to reach further with your advertising? Contact our sales team now. Call us at 622-4141 at extensions 2601 to 2607 or email us at sales@ttt.co.tt.
We are back. This is the Now Morning Show here on TTT, also on Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online. And we're in the season of Lent here, and I'm here with two representatives from the National Catholic Men's Ministry. And we're going to speak with Matthew Hall, who's a committee member, and also Peter Timothy, who is also a committee member. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
And well, happy Lenten season.
Same to you.
All right, so the National Catholic Men's Ministry, we were talking about it a little while ago, and you said it was reorganized and restructured. What was the format before, and what have you changed it into now?
Well, throughout the Archdiocese, you've had men's groups, and there was the National Catholic Men's Movement, right? And recently, in an attempt to revitalize and reorganize men's ministry in the church and in the Archdiocese, a small committee brought together, liaising with men who were involved in men's ministry before, and the end result, after consultation and discussion, was the development of the revitalization of men's ministry, and the movement is now called the National Catholic Men's Ministry.
Why did you see a need to revitalize? What was it that you needed to change to make it better?
One of the things that we recognized was that we had to change and boost our approach in reaching out to men. I mean, if you go through churches throughout Trinidad and Tobago, women outnumber the men. Generally, all right? And especially in the Roman Catholic Church. Therefore, we saw that there was a need to look again at how do we approach men, how do we get men involved, how do we make men realize that they have to take up their rightful place in the church, and mirroring to their sons and those who are in their charge that religion and prayer is not something for just mommy and the sisters, but that men too are involved in religious activities.
All right, and so Matthew, what's... sorry to cut you off.
There are a lot of societal ills that can be linked to men, and the lack of male involvement, the lack of men rising up to be leaders, and the National Catholic Men's Ministry, as a result, thought that we needed to do something different. The old format of men's ministry, men's groups, wasn't working, wasn't being effective. We weren't reaching men, we weren't helping them enough to become the men that we think that God is calling us to be, really.
All right, so what are you going to do different now, moving forward?
Moving forward, we would like, well, first of all, we'll be launching the ministry next Tuesday, Tuesday 19th, at the Cathedral of Immaculate Conception at 5 p.m.
Right.
Following there, we intend to get involved. We have a lot of men on the ground right now being trained, being formed, and this training and forming, which Peter will be able to talk about, is helping men to understand their role and their call as men, to be leaders, to be good husbands, good fathers, good sons, brothers, good everything, good customer service representatives, good everything in the society today.
All right, so how are you going to go about, who are the examples that you're going to have as the teachers to actually help basically train these men into, as you're saying, the type of leaders and the type of men that they need to be today?
Well, once you're dealing with a Christian concept and context, the example, of course, is Jesus. And what we try to do with regard to the training is to help people to understand that in living our lives today, what do we need to do to emulate Jesus? When you look at St. Paul in the scripture says, imitate me as I imitate Christ. So therefore, it's to help people to understand in our context today, what do we do to say that if someone sees you, they will say that you remind me of Jesus. How do I resemble Jesus? How do I bring Jesus to my children, in the home, in the way that I act? The Christian life has to be lived. And therefore, the idea is to help men to understand that it is important for us to mirror to those, especially our children and so on, the importance of living a life of integrity, the importance of being a prayerful person, the importance of ensuring that what you say, you actually live that, right? And you're not living a double life or a double standard.
Yeah. Matthew, you're a young guy, and many times you see younger men especially, you don't see them very much interest. You will see some, of course, but a large majority are living secular lives. And how do you, from your perspective, because you're one of the few, how would you, from your perspective, intend on reaching out to young men especially to get them back into church or get them to church in the first place?
Yeah. Well, the first thing we have to do, or we started doing it already, is trying to understand the mind of the millennial and the current generation. It is far different, and a lot of the church's approaches and techniques are geared towards older generations right now. So at the moment, we're trying to do different studies, read up research, talk to guys my age, talk to myself, included, just to try to understand how we think and how we operate, and what is it that we really desire or would want to see from a movement like this or in church in general. So with that research, hopefully we'll be able to understand and then better formulate programs, ministry, get towards young people, young men in particular.
Yeah, definitely. You know, as I said, it's, you know, getting the young people involved, because again, the youth are the future, and having the older generation teach them and bring them up in the way so they could therefore in turn teach the younger ones them that, and is a sustainable system. You know?
One thing I'd say that definitely is new, which we have discussed and we've all agreed, is that as we move forward with this National Catholic Men's Ministry, that we are going to establish a presence in our Roman Catholic boys' schools. We're starting off because of the numbers, first with the secondary schools, but the idea is to have a presence in all the schools, the boys' schools in particular, moving finally to the primary schools. Because if we want to form, as what we say, the ideal Catholic man, we have to start as early as possible.
All right. Well, Matthew Hall and Peter Timothy, thank you very much. We were speaking about the National Catholic Men's Ministry. You know, really excited about your revamp and your launch, which is on Tuesday. Could you repeat to me where the location is?
Tuesday the 19th, 5 p.m. at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception.
All right, I wish you the very best for that. We're going to swing across the Rishi over here because we're going to chat a little bit about...
You know, I love talking to you, right?
Always.
Yeah. Carrie's, by the way, Carrie is back this morning. And by the way, this is the first time, today was the first time in like 7 or 8 days that I've had coffee because Carrie made coffee for me. So it's always great to have him back.
And always great to have coffee.
And people on social media seem to be happy that you're back as well. Special good morning to everybody who are on our Facebook page, TTT Live Online, to Mala Bagwandine, Tara Lachman, Beverly Saunders, Nigel Mirage, Bernadine, Sharon Smith, Fiola Rudder, always with us, Lily, Sharon Amos, Raphael Blake, Pat is joining us.
Oh, yes. I see that she's joining us now. And actually, yesterday I met one of our regulars as well, Hala Nasir.
Really?
Yes, I met her in person yesterday.
Nice.
You know, so it was nice to have a little chat with her there. So we'll be having a wonderful morning, Hala.
Yeah, and, you know, over the carnival season, you said that you had a really relaxing time, right?
Generally, I went to one event on the Sunday, and that event was what sparked the carnival fever, and and then afterward I was regretting. I was like, I can't believe I'm not playing mass.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I actually was kind of glad that I didn't do too much. I spent a lot of time relaxing and doing schoolwork and that kind of thing.
Well, next year will be very different.
Yeah, next year we play mass.
All right,
yeah.
Deal.
That's a deal, right?
We said it on national TV, so we have to do it.
Right,
now.
we're playing next year for sure in San Fernando, though. All right, so let's take in the local weather before Carrie and I get carried away.
As we go through typically the driest month of the year in Trinidad and Tobago, which is March, we tend to find very little in terms of moisture. Just occasional showers are passing in and out of the island chain, so you'll notice that some damp spots, especially around parts of Tobago's hillsides as you go through the mid-morning into the afternoon. A few of those showers, there's a chance of a shower that could turn heavy, especially towards the end of the day. But for Trinidad, you'll notice all of the cloudiness coming through Beach down towards Chaguanas, eventually for southern areas of Trinidad along the south coast, that is for Moruga, Guaragari up to Point Fortin, possibility of a few showers coming through as you go through your day there. And that will be your lot for much of southern Trinidad through Tuesday morning and a Tuesday afternoon. There won't be that much wind around in terms of those breeze coming off the Atlantic that we've seen of late. Temperature-wise, looking at 31 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, maybe touching 32 in Port of Spain, 30 degrees Celsius expected for Tobago. And it seems as though through Wednesday we'll see more cloudiness, a lot more moisture to come. This is good news. It will likely bring some of those showers around, but not significant rainfall. That's the type of rainfall that we definitely need as we go through this harsh, dry season. So as you can see, we return to sunshine through Friday. Offshore, it continues to be moderately breezy. Easterly winds of 15 knots. Not much in terms of sea spray around. Just a moderate chop, 1.5 meters through the Caribbean, getting up to 2 meters further offshore. And short east-northeasterly swells up to 8 seconds. And you have your high tide at 7:30 a.m. and then next low tide at 2 p.m. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.
All right, thank you very much, Ian Wallace, for the weather forecast. I would also like to say a special good morning to Rosemary and Rafiq from in Freeport. I understand they are joining us this morning, so special good morning to you all. But, Carrie, important information, we are in the period of Lent.
Yes, we are indeed in the period of Lent, a period of where the numerous denominations of Christianity observe a time of reflection, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Definitely a period where things calm down and stuff. But we'll talk about that after this break, as we're at the top of the hour for the news.
Whether you are on the road or at the beach, preserve our beautiful nation of which we are proud by properly disposing of your waste. Because environmental pride is national pride.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Sandra Maraj, and this is News Now on TTT. Police Commissioner Gary Griffith says he'll be the first member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to be polygraphed and drug tested. The Commissioner has given instructions for random drug testing to be conducted on both regular and special reserve police officers of the TTPS in accordance with Section 93.3 of the Police Service Regulations 2007. The police service says where random testing is done, any officer found to be under the influence of any dangerous drugs while on duty will be disciplined. Under Section 151 of the regulations, a police officer is liable to be charged with a disciplinary offence if while on duty he is involved in drunkenness or drug taking, drinking or soliciting drink or reporting for duty under the influence of alcohol. All police officers were notified that random testing across the TTPS will begin in 2 months' time and will continue indefinitely. The polygraph testing for police officers is to be introduced in the southwestern peninsula over the next 2 weeks. The new Sherburne Road Police Station in Tobago will be equipped with technology that will be put to good use. This from National Security Minister Stuart Young, who gave the feature address at the opening of the station yesterday. He said this new police station was not only the best on the island, but the entire Caribbean.
Going to pack the facility with technology. Tobago is not going to be left behind. You would have heard both the Commissioner and myself say the only way for us to effectively fight crime, one of the pillars has to be the utilization of technology. So I see my friend in the corner who is in charge of the CCTV facilities in Tobago. And without fear of contradiction, we are going to increase the number of camera coverage in Tobago, the number of cameras to increase the coverage in Tobago.
He said another identical station will be built in Roxborough as the Prime Minister was adamant the facilities in Tobago needed to be upgraded. And apart from the police stations, other facilities under the National Security Ministry will also be upgraded.
We've broken ground for a state-of-the-art fire station. And we are also looking at new correctional facilities in Tobago. It's not going to be in hope, I can say, without fear of contradiction, having made a site visit. But we have now identified where we think is an ideal location.
An employee of the CPEP Company Limited, captured on video in a verbal tirade with a motorist while driving a CPEP vehicle, is back on the job after witnesses failed to give evidence in the matter. A joint select committee of Parliament on State Enterprises held a public inquiry on Monday into the operations of CPEP, where questions were raised about the incident shared via social media. In January, former Calypso monarch Weston Croco Rollins was suspended from his job at the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program CPEP after the video showed him shouting and cursing another motorist while he was driving a CPEP pickup van. Croco later defended his actions, claiming the motorist hurled racial slurs at him. During the JSC, CPEP Chairman Ashton Ford confirmed the incident was thoroughly investigated by the company.
And yes, the incident took place, and while the investigator was conducting his work, the person involved, the other person refused to cooperate with the investigator. He did not make a report to the police. He did not make a report to CPEP. And he refused to be interviewed by the investigator. In the circumstances, the investigator recommended that the employee be returned to this job with a stern warning, and we carried out the recommendation accordingly.
In news of sport, former national captain Kenwyn Jones is back in the spotlight as an assistant to his former national teammate Stern John with the national under-17 team. Jones, who shocked everyone when he announced his retirement after his first MLS season in Atlanta in 2017, was last seen coaching alongside Nigel Grosvenor at Queen's Royal College in the Secondary Schools Football League. The 34-year-old former UK and US-based professional will be joined by previous under-17 team assistant coach Caleb D'Souza as John's second assistant coach, while Ross Russell, the senior team goalkeeping coach, will do double duty with the under-17 squad for the CONCACAF Championships, which starts May 1st in Florida. TNT is in Group E and will take on Bermuda on May 1st, Jamaica on May 3rd, and defending champs Mexico 2 days later. And that was News Now on TTT. I'm Sandra Maraj. Have a good morning.
The Environmental Management Authority is rolling out Phase 2 of the iCare project, a recycling initiative sponsored by the Green Fund. Bags of assorted beverage containers are collected every day and averted from polluting our environment. These recyclables are processed at pilot collection depots, operated by Strategic Partner Swimcall. Over the next 2 years, additional iCare bins will be placed in public spaces and schools nationwide. Adopt the habit of recycling and caring for the environment today. Visit our Facebook page iCare TT to locate your nearest recycling bin and learn more about this Vision 2030 initiative.
On the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange produced a volume of 107,123 shares with a traded value of $1,304,600.42. NCB Financial Group Limited was the volume leader with 79,239 stock units changing hands. Investors bought and sold the stocks of 13 companies, with 4 increasing, 4 declining, and 5 ending the day unchanged. The composite, the cross-listed, and the all TNT indices advanced. Trade.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Now Morning Show on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online. Carrie, exciting morning so far.
Yeah, so far so good. And with the second hour here, I found that first hour flew by really quickly.
Really?
Yeah, I found it good.
You know, a lot of good information.
It was lots of good information, a lot of excitement, and I was especially excited about the customer service interview we conducted there with Dawn Richards.
Yeah, and we have some exciting news. One Trinidad and Tobago writer seems to be doing really well.
Right, yes, Carolyn McKenzie. She is actually in a deal with Netflix right now, and she is also, she's making her debut publication of a novel which is called A Year of Ugly, which is based on a Venezuelan family living in Trinidad and Tobago illegally, and Netflix has actually bought the television rights to create and produce series around that, so that's something to look forward to. She has also been picked up by 2 publishing companies to launch her novel, one in the UK and one in the US. So definitely some big news there about a local author by the name of Carolyn McKenzie, and she's from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, so some fantastic news for Trinidad and Tobago. And talking about Trinidad and Tobago, well, our cheerleaders, remember we did an interview last month with some of our young cheerleaders going across to compete in the high schools World Championship cheerleading competition. Yes. Yeah. So the Trinidad and Tobago Cheer Federation, the girls from St. Augustine High School and St. Joseph Convent, they placed second at that event, and
Really?
we have the results.
Top five in fifth place. Give it up for Jefferson Salinas Golden Waves.
Fourth place, level 1.1 junior prep, Ridgecrest Coyote Cheer.
In third place, going home with the bronze medallion. Give it up for Harlem Girls Cheer.
Second place, taking home the silver medallions, the Rosewood Tigers.
Absolutely fantastic. The excitement on those faces.
I know, right?
Brilliant.
And to think it's the first time a team from Trinidad and Tobago had gone there and we copped second prize.
Yeah, so congratulations.
Congratulations to our girls there from St. Augustine Girls and from St. Joseph's Convent. Definitely something, we're excited about here. Imagine that, and cheerleading.
I mean, it's not that big in Trinidad and Tobago. It's
Right.
a growing sport. And for us to go on the international stage and compete and do exceptionally well,
Yes,
that bodes well
exactly.
for us moving forward with that.
Especially as it's the first team that went out there and already
Exactly.
they copped a high position like that. So
So
imagine
you know
for
what we
next
have to
year. Yeah, we have to top that next year.
No, we need to have them here and...
Well, that too.
Oh, yeah, so congratulations to them. Really, really good work. Represented Trinidad and Tobago well at the High Schools World Championship. That's the cheerleading championships, which took place recently. So, Carrie, we were talking this morning about the situation in Venezuela with the power outage. You know, I was reading an article this morning saying that, we can expect more and more Venezuelans coming in because of the situation there.
As it becomes more and more dire, it is expected that they would seek refuge in other countries, including Trinidad and Tobago, being that we are so close. I just hope that there are certain things in place to accept one and to assist the refugees that are making their way to different countries, because they really are facing a dire situation in their country. And, we should look out and help our fellow man.
Yeah, the power outage there has been going on for almost 6 days. A lot of looting taking place, and people have died as a result of it. So a situation that we will definitely continue to monitor. All right,
one thing I'm going to monitor right now is the traffic.
Yes.
So let's take a look at this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
And we're on the Beetham Highway right now, and it doesn't seem too bad at this point in time, which is unusual for this hour. But for now, it seems there's a decent flow heading toward the city of Port of Spain and environs as we look at this westbound lane here on the Churchill Roosevelt Highway. As we pan across, we can get a better look at what is happening. And we can see right now that, there's a decent flow, large number of vehicles on the road at this point in time, in large volume. But it seems to be moving, and as we zoom in a little bit closer to that traffic light, we see that it slows down a little bit, but that is to be expected. And looking over in the other lane right now, we can see that there is not much happening. Free flow of traffic heading eastbound. So for those of you heading that way, that's good news for you. Those of you heading into the city of Port of Spain and the western region of the country, we can see right now that there is a decent flow, but still a large number of vehicles, and we do expect that it may have a little congestion later. But remember, if you're leaving home right now, leaving your television sets, you can take us with you on Talk City 91.1 FM, and we can keep you company until 8 a.m. this morning. All right, and that's a wrap for this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
All right, so coming up after the break, we are going to talk about dragon boating, the Trinidad and Tobago Dragon Boat Federation. Some exciting action coming up. We're going to find out all about that. Keith Dalip and Franco Siu Chong with us. And we also have members from the Tunapuna Methodist Church. They are with us this morning as well. So a lot of exciting things to talk about this morning. And before we do that, though, and before we take the break, we have to go over to Sweet 100.
Oh yeah, we must go to our sweet sister station, Sweet 100. And this morning with us is Mark Anthony. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Doing absolutely fantastic, as Rishi likes to say.
Well, yes, I was going to say fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic,
Absolutely fantastic, man.
absolutely
How
fantastic.
are you doing this morning? A special good morning to all the listeners there on Sweet 100.1 FM.
Well, we're doing absolutely fantastic on this side. I was actually just abusing it a little bit.
Every time you use that, you have to start to pay me for it, okay?
Well, yeah, because I know it's copyrighted to you, Rishi.
Exactly.
That's yours, all yours. But guys, it's great to see you. No Lisa this morning.
No Lisa this morning. So I was missing yesterday, but Lisa is missing today, and we still wish her the best because she's doing a lot.
Rishi had a 3 days the other day.
That was well deserved, apparently.
No, well, I know he was recovering from the carnival because he had to. Maybe he's working on his new video. You never know, Kat. You never know what is the love song this time he's working on, because he was the husband the last time in the video. So I don't know what is your role this time now, Rishi?
Mark, there is no role. I am not doing anything of the sort this year. I'm trying to keep a good reputation.
Maybe he's singing, Carrie. You never
know.
He is
just
not.
Maybe
he's
might
singing
be singing
and
this
dancing. You never know.
He will not be doing either.
I think she's going to surprise us all.
Yeah, he might.
He will not.
And you may not. Maybe you don't know. Like you may see me in the background as a backup.
You think?
Backup
Really?
dancer or backup music, either one.
Listen, the way people are falling for Carrie on social media, I think I will be the backup in my own video.
You're just being modest, Rishi, because you have a really large fan base.
Really?
Really.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, but guys,
Mark, how are things shaping up?
Things
with you all there.
Things are so wonderful.
Post carnival,
so many things have we've experienced for the carnival season, and it's like a cool down time now, and it's like an extra cool down time because we went into what we call Caribbean Love last week. Tomorrow it's Wednesday Love. It's a big day that people look forward to. So you can send out your love shouts tomorrow, Rishi. Wherever you want to send it out to.
Remember yesterday, Lisa and I were talking about how much of a romantic person I am. So,
yes.
Wednesday Love is my kind of thing.
We do know that because tomorrow, Rishi's just going to be smiling all day tomorrow. So it's Cucumber Wednesday, maybe we could call it. So he's just a cool one tomorrow. So I know how it is, and a lot of people look forward to the Wednesday Love. And Kemba, who's in the background, she just loves the Wednesday Love also. She said, I would say, Kemba, what day is it today? And she's like, Sweet Wednesday Love. So we have a little thing going on there, but it's so wonderful when you have the opportunity to share these great opportunities with people. People just love, and love is such a beautiful thing. It's
love is lovely, as they say.
Love is love, man.
Yeah,
you can't get better than love. What do you want better than that? I mean,
exactly.
Love is love. So I'm just like how they say, sweet is love. So we just want to keep on delivering that sweetness and that love to all our listeners all over the world, because it's not just here in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean, it's all over the world. So we have people from all different corners who listen and look out for this Wednesday Love tomorrow. And I'm going to give you a little pre-thing into it. Tomorrow, we're going to celebrate the 80s, because I think the 80s, that decade we celebrated the greatest love songs of all time.
But that was the decade before I was born, so.
I was in the late 80s.
I wasn't going there.
I like the oldies myself.
But probably I'd learn a thing or two about music from the 80s. So Mark, I'll pass in tomorrow and we'll have a chat, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, all right. Come in and introduce a song or two.
Or two. Not just one. Or two.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark Anthony. Our
sweet
sister station, Sweet 100.1 FM. Always a pleasure, Carrie, going
Always,
over and chatting with
every time. Yeah, most definitely.
So we'll go to Sweet tomorrow and we're going to introduce a few songs.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to put one on radio voice this time and
to go with the radio phase.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Rishi. Yep. Me and my radio face will go to a short break with my radio face because can't stand seeing it anymore, and we'll be right back.
Your child preparing for the SEA exam? Get the ultimate tool for total SEA success. The SEA Suite from JJ & Friends. For students in standards 3 to 5, develop their mathematical skills, help them get a greater grasp of comprehension, and build a stronger creative writing foundation. The SEA Suite from JJ & Friends, a cutting-edge educational tool to quicken your child's academic progress. With our SEA Suite, you'll also get 50 bonus apps that relate to the Ministry of Education SEA syllabus.
All of my experience in education, which totals up to almost 50 years, I've never seen anything that changed the landscape the way this has. It makes the learning, I think, more accessible to the students.
So there you have it. A perfect solution, a great solution
to educating your child.
Give your child the gift of SEA success. Call us now at 374-SEA2-7322.
Delivering more news, more often, to more people. Log on to www.ttt.live.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. A lot of fun and excitement here on the Now Morning Show on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Now, the Tunapuna Methodist Church here, they have something that is fun and exciting happening. A musical elevation. That is what we're going to call it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I have with me Catherine Duncan and Kamau Fletcher.
Yes, sir.
To chat about this musical elevation.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
I like saying that. I like saying it. It's just so catchy and like a musical elevation. You could just feel it when you say it.
Yes, certainly.
Uplifted.
It's the concert that we're here to talk about this morning.
Yeah.
Is called Uplifted, a musical elevation.
Can you say that in a radio voice?
A musical elevation. Uplifted. Come and be uplifted, spiritually and mentally, of course. So we're having this concert on Saturday, March 23, March 23rd at 7 p.m. at Dagger Hall. And we're having some very, very, very acclaimed musical talent for us to perform and for everyone to enjoy. Certainly, I'm accompanied here by Sister Catherine Duncan, and we're part of the organizing committee that's putting this on. And it's our first event as like this, as a concert by the church, Tunapuna Methodist Church. And as our first outing, we want to bring some big acts to the people.
How big?
How big? Well, just to mention a few. Well, let Catherine. I want to steal the whole thunder. Go ahead, Catherine.
Okay. Well, we have headlining the concert. We have the Lydians, and in terms of choirs, inspirational music, you can't get any bigger than the Lydians. They are celebrated in Trinidad and Tobago, across the region, even globally. And I think this year they may be celebrating their 40th anniversary. So
that's right.
A lot of experience, rich performances. Everybody knows the Lydians. We're also bringing down somebody who's new to Trinidad and Tobago. Her name is Geraldine McMillian. She's an acclaimed opera singer from New York. And rich, powerful, soulful singer. And she's going to blow us away.
First time in Trinidad.
First time in Trinidad, yeah. So this will be her debut in Trinidad and Tobago. We're very excited about that. We also have members of the TNT Youth Philharmonic Orchestra and Christopher Tambu Herbert.
So a lot to look forward to.
A lot to look forward to.
This
star-studded cast.
On March 23rd, 2019. So what is the purpose of this event?
The purpose of this event is to assist the church in our outreach and missions, evangelism aspect of the church. We're trying to reach out to the community, and we're trying to basically touch, as your previous guests have mentioned, the young people and the different sectors within the society. So we're trying to build awareness and spread scriptural holiness throughout as part of our mission of the church. So this will assist us in attracting a new, different audience that's out there that may not necessarily come to church on a regular basis, but be able to still experience a spiritual upliftment of the, and so that's why we're bringing some acts to the cast that folks will know. Like, for example, Mr. Tambu Herbert, if for those who are familiar with the musical history or the tapestry of Trinidad and Tobago, will realize that Christopher Tambu Herbert, along with Mr. Rudder, were the lead singers for Charlie's Roots, and going back, and so they've have some big tunes and big classics out there that folks will know. And then not to mention, as Sister Karen was mentioning just now, the Lydian Singers. This is their first performance for 2019 in Trinidad and Tobago. So they're coming with their entire ensemble to bless us indeed in all types of music, from opera to spiritual to some classical music. So it's going to be a packed program, and folks are going to enjoy it.
So a lot of excitement there. So you mentioned outreach. So I want to get Catherine in on this. So how do you plan to get these young people involved? Yes, you talk about community outreach programs, but how do you actually get them involved and to stay in something like this?
Can I ask Kamal to answer that question, please?
Certainly. Well, this is part of our bigger mission, of course. So the plan is to, once we have captured the imagination of these folks by this concert and seeing what's possible, we want to get them into the organization where they can go to God and change around their lifestyle. So the messages that these artists are going to be bringing to the audience is one of, you, no matter where you are, you can still come and change your life and come to God and come to Jesus. So the point of this mission, the purpose of this is to introduce them, you know, from a musical perspective, because music really transcends age and transcends societal norms.
Yeah. And just to remind people that Uplifted is a musical elevation celebrating the inspirational power of music.
That's right.
It takes place on Saturday, March 23rd, 2019, 7 to 9:30 p.m. Dagger Auditorium, UE St. Augustine. Now admission is $200. Tickets available Kenny Sports Center, Trin City Mall, and 87 Queen Street in Port of Spain. For more information, you can call 727-6288 or email the tunapunaconcert@gmail.com. That is tunapunaconcert@gmail.com.
And we can be found on Facebook as well. Uplifted the concert.
Uplifted the concert. So you can definitely check that out to get more information. Thank you very much, Catherine Duncan and Kamal Fletcher, for coming in and talking to us about Uplifted, a musical elevation.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right, we take a break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Maximize your impact when you advertise on TTT Live Online. With TTT Live Online, your brand can be seen by viewers in TNT and all around the world via our social media pages. Our audience is growing every day. TTT Live Online has reached over 260,000 followers across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can bet they're watching. Our statistics show the live stream of the Now Morning Show reaches tens of thousands of viewers each day. Our news and entertainment pieces draw hundreds of thousands of views across all platforms. And you have an opportunity to be integrated into or featured alongside all this amazing content. Are you ready to maximize impact? Contact our sales team now. Call 622-4141 at extensions 2601 to 2607 or email us at sales@ttt.co.tt.
They have been the team to beat for some time at home and in the region, and now with competition coming here for the Pan American Club Crew Championships, they are ready.
We've been thinking about this ever since it first advertised it that we're going to have Pan Am in Tobago, as marketing as the Extreme Dragon Boat, and we're mentally preparing for it since then. We started preparing as soon as the October regatta was done last year, so we're on track for Pan Am in March.
How much does it mean as a competitor to have the sport come to his shores?
This is very good because being that Aqualix has been on for Pan Am in Canada in 2015, being part of the Caribbean and having it on our own soil, I think is very good for tourism, showing that Trinidad and Tobago has a dragon boat federation and putting us on the map. And I think with being on not home soil but home water, we have a pretty good advantage. Yeah.
Dragon boat racing is a team sport with crews of upwards of 20 members. And with this in mind, Lau Kwan believes it can help with the sports tourism drive.
Because we're trying to diversify away from energy stuff, I think Tobago has a very good advantage to take advantage of this for tourism. I think this is good for diversification and economy, and that's what we need, something like this now.
But what are his team's goals for the tournament?
Seeing that we took the first, second, and third gold, silver, and bronze in Canada in 2015, I think we're going out there to win everything. I mean, we don't train hard to come second. Try to come first.
The competition is set for March 22nd to 24th at Pigeon Point, Tobago. Kent Fuentes, TTT Sports.
Oh yes, so dragon boating, that is our topic of conversation. Now, with me, Keith Dalit, President, Trinidad and Tobago Dragon Boat Federation, and Mr. Franco Siu Chong, President, Pan American Dragon Boat Federation. You know, I've always said that I want to go and try this dragon boating thing, and I have never really come along to do it.
Yes, Rishi, and I keep sending messages to you.
It's been more than a year, right?
We've been waiting on you, yes.
Yeah, and I'll do it. I'll do it. I have a fear that if I go, the boat will overturn, and I will die. But I'm sure it's a safe event.
It is, absolutely.
So, the Trinidad and Tobago Dragon Boat Federation, in collaboration with the Pan American Dragon Boat Federation, will be hosting the Pan American Club Crew Championship on March 21st to the 24th at Pigeon Point Heritage Park in Tobago. Yes. How did things go last year, first of all, and what can we expect this year?
We had a great year last year. Of course, this year, we're looking for the first time at international competition, and not just international, but an IDBF standard competition. Mm-hmm. So looking forward to the event in March, later this month. It's been a bit of nervous excitement for us.
Nervous excitement?
Yes, certainly, because we have more than 900 athletes registered, and probably close to 200 non-competitive people registered as well. So we're looking at about 1,100 people that will be coming for this event, registered. And that has surpassed even our wildest expectations. So, as I said, our hope is to manage the expectations of these people. You know, from the time they get off the plane in Piarco, we want to make sure that they enjoy the best of what Trinidad and Tobago has to offer, not just about the dragon boating.
And I mean, dragon boating is a fun sport. I absolutely love it, although I have not done it just yet. And this year, though, I am going to do it. That is, I am giving you my word, and they say I'm going to keep my word this time, because, you know, they say a man is only as good as his word. So I'm going to keep my word this year, and I'm going to definitely try that. Now, this year, as we hear over 1,100 people will be competing, and we're expecting, what, about 40 different countries?
I wish. No,
okay.
The International Dragon Boat Federation has its international competitions throughout the world. Mm-hmm. But our region is the Pan American region. So the Pan American region is developing now.
Yes.
We have two countries, which is the USA and Canada, which are fully developed. Trinidad is the one next, because dragon boating has been here since 2006. But we have Puerto Rico and Panama. So it's really 5 countries that will be participating. And as the Pan American region grow, it will get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And how did it go for you all last year?
Well, the championships is every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
In 2013, it was in Tampa, USA. In 2015, in Canada. 2017 was in Puerto Rico, before the big storm that hit Puerto Rico. And this year, it's 2019. We bid for this 2 years ago, so all the planning has been 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
So you had 2 years to plan, and you said you're nervous excitement.
Still nervous.
I mean, 2 years to plan, you can never be too prepared for something like this.
Absolutely, you know, and as the time gets closer, and you start getting directly from clubs in Canada, in USA, in Panama, and so on, you can feel the anticipation that's there, and it, of course, it builds our own a level of anticipation going into the event. So, yeah, it's...
But everything is set? Almost.
Yes, we think so. We think so.
So it's March 21st to 24th. So tell me how people can get involved in this now. You want people to come across to Pigeon Point?
Oh, for sure. For sure. The public is always invited to all of our events. And of course, in this particular instance, they're going to see some of the top clubs in the world. In fact, one of the clubs that is coming from as far north as Quebec, the 22 Dragons, right, Montreal, they were at the last World Championship